My name is Clara Mae Harrison. In my 67 years of life, I have seen many hardships, but I never expected the pain that my own daughter would give me. I raised my daughter Hope alone, fought every sorrow in the world for her, endured every difficulty, and saved every dream for her. I never let her feel any kind of lack. But one picture changed everything. A picture on Facebook, Hope in her white wedding dress, her husband, Devin Hayes, standing beside her, and only the Hayes family in the background. And I was nowhere. At first, I convinced myself that maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was a sudden decision. Maybe she told me and I forgot. But the truth was much bitterer. Hope had intentionally kept me away from her wedding. For the next few days, I kept trying to comfort myself, but every night when loneliness grew, a question pierced my heart like a wound. Why would my daughter do this?
The first sign of conspiracy. A week passed, and after returning from the market, I went to my neighbor, Eleanor Rodriguez's house. She had seen the wedding picture on Facebook, and her face carried both sorrow and surprise. "Clara, I don't think your daughter celebrated this day so simply. Something must have happened. There must be some reason you were kept away." Her words felt strange, but by evening, they kept echoing in my mind. Was there really a reason? Or had I simply become unimportant in my own child's eyes? The Hayes family gathering. A few days later, an acquaintance told me that the Hayes family had a small dinner party after the wedding. I wasn't invited, but the conversations still reached me. Devin's parents were very happy that the wedding happened exactly according to their wishes. They didn't let anyone come and ruin the environment. Environment? Ruin? Was I just someone who would ruin the environment in my daughter's life? Those words hit my heart like a stone. Hope's changing attitude.
Hope had been ignoring me for the past few months, but this time she had put on a whole new face. Her replies to my messages were short, and if I called, the conversation didn't last more than 30 seconds. "Mom, I'm busy. We'll talk later. Mom, please don't overthink." And the most painful thing, she wasn't including me in a single moment of her new life. I was breaking from the inside, but at the same time, seeds of doubt about the Hayes family began taking root. The first open evidence. One day, when I returned home from church, there was an envelope at my door. Inside was a picture. The same wedding picture of Hope and Devin. But this time, something was written on the back. The words were lightly erased, as if someone wrote them and then tried to wipe them off. "We didn't want her there. It was better this way." It was Eleanor Hayes' handwriting. I recognized it. My hands began to tremble. So this was the truth. They intentionally kept me away. And why? The doors of truth began to open. 2 days later, I decided I needed answers. I went straight to Devin and Hope's apartment without calling. The same apartment, where now I needed permission to visit. Devin opened the door, and the displeasure on his face was obvious. "Mrs. Harrison, why didn't you tell us you were coming?" I said firmly, "I need to talk to my daughter. Now." Hope came out of the lounge and her face showed fear, not surprise that I was there, but fear of me being there. "Mom, you suddenly—" "Hope, why didn't you invite me to your wedding? I want the truth from you." She stayed silent. Her eyes were fixed on the floor. At that moment, Devin tried to answer on her behalf. "Circumstances were like that, and well, we didn't want... I cut him sharply. "You people didn't want it, or my daughter didn't want it." Tears welled up in Hope's eyes. I hardened my heart, because this time The tears came too late. "Mom, it wasn't my fault. I was told that—" "Who told you?" And that was the moment everything changed. The first explosion of truth. Hope's lips trembled as she said, "Devon's parents. They told me that you wouldn't be comfortable there. They wanted the wedding to be calm, respectable." My body turned to stone. My presence was a threat to their respect? Hope hesitated and added, "Eleanor said their friends and relatives are very sophisticated. They wouldn't tolerate that the daughter of a housemaid was joining their family." A sharp knife pierced through my chest. In a trembling voice, I asked, "And you? After hearing this about your mother, what did you say?" Hope burst into tears, but her tears no longer softened me. In every tear, I saw her weakness, and that weakness hurt more than love. "Mom, I was scared. I thought my marriage might fall apart. I thought I'd fix everything later." The second blow of betrayal. I was about to leave without saying anything when Eleanor Hayes appeared at the door. There was no guilt on her face, just a cold smile. "Mrs. Harrison, surprised to see you here." I looked straight into her eyes. "Why did you separate Hope from me?" She smiled, as if I were a joke to her.
Because, Clara, upper-class weddings don't need complications. We saw that Hope's future is better with us, not in the environment you raised her in. For the first time in my life, I spoke bitterly to someone's face. You tried to take a mother out of her daughter's heart. But remember, the more you try to suppress a mother's shadow, the deeper it becomes. Eleanor said mockingly. Well, she chose us over you, didn't she? Hope's soul shattered in that moment. She screamed, "Mom, I didn't choose them. I didn't know what to do." I raised my hand to stop her. Enough. Don't say anything more. Just listen. I gave you life, but you gave me death. I'm alive, but in your life, I'm already dead. And I walked away. The silent days. For the next many days, Hope called, texted, and sent voice notes, but I didn't answer. For the first time in my life, I put my own heart first, and that became my strength. The final link of truth. 2 weeks later, Hope came to my house herself. She had papers in her hand. I asked, "What is this?" "Mom, these are the messages that Eleanor sent to Devin and me. The day I said I wanted to invite you, they threatened me that if I invited you, they would end the marriage. And Devin also said his family's honor comes first. I got scared, Mom. I made a wrong decision. I became weak. Mom, please forgive me." I took the papers. The truth was right in front of me. The entire game was played by the Hayes family. They planted fear in Hope's heart, manipulated her, and separated her from her mother. Hope sat on the floor crying, but I did not embrace her. In a soft but firm voice I said, "Hope, forgiveness can be given, but forgetfulness cannot. Relationships are not built only by blood, but by character. I will give you time, but before my wounds heal, I will not let anyone back into my life." Hope nodded and said, "Mom, I will bring back every piece of your hurt. I will pay for the mistake I made. I don't know what the future holds, but I now know that a mother doesn't just give. Sometimes she steps back to save herself. And that is the beginning of my story. Or perhaps a new beginning. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel till the end.